Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode here, we're going to be doing a feature vehicle, right? And the feature vehicle that we're doing looks like the norm, but it's actually not. This here is the E30 325i Sport, not a 325IS. So it is an import vehicle, it is a Euro-spec vehicle. Let's go through it. Okay, so yes, they look like the 325IS, but these here basically came in the European countries, right? So I'm not too certain which countries it came up, but the full read up on it is in the link. I'll supply that now on e30zone.net. Um, just some just some basic info on these vehicles, right? So it was a 325i in the coupe form with the MTech 2 kit, but they also came with MTech 1 kit. So the pre 88s, 89s came with the MTech 1s. So that'll be the chrome bumper with the MTech 1 kit, but the kit should have been, it won't be the same as the 333 kit. The side skirts would have come higher. Engine wise, they're running the 2.5 motor, so it's 125 kilowatt motor, 170 horsepower motor with the slip diffs. So if you know the South African versions, the shadow lines never came with slip diffs, right? So they came with a 411 ratio to compensate for the 260 gedrag. Whereas the 325 ISs came with the 391s and the 373s to compensate for the closer ratio box. So this one has got the closer ratio gearbox as same as the 325 IS. It's got the limited slip diff on it. They came in different forms, right? So they came in different colors. So the 88s came in your diamond black, diamond schwarz. They came in the dolphin metallic, which is this color here, and they came in another color which I can't. It's a German. It's the name is in German and I can't pronounce the color. Then your 90s models came. Those came with the henna reds, the not the henna red. Sorry, they came with the brilliant red, and they came with a few various colors. So in the 90s, they distinguished different colors for these vehicles. Interior wise, you had quite a vast variety of options, right? So you had a couple of leather options. Then you had, actually, I think there's about 4 material options. So it was blue check, gray check. You'll see the write up is on the e30zone.net. So it's a whole lot of things just to memorize on them. But they were especially for those countries there. So they're quite different to the South African ISs. Um, the radiators also, the radiators that these cars came with was actually a small radiator because of the climate change. Not climate change, the climates in the different countries. So South Africa is much hotter. If you look at the European countries, they don't eat the summer temperatures that we eat, right? And these radiators are actually very small. So the cowlings are small, the radiator is small, the mounting is small, the piping is small. So we've actually had to change that, and I'll get to that now as well. Then the other differences are the headlight wipers. They come standard with them, and the pop-out windows on the rear as well. So this here came out standard from BM with it. Then you'll see that on the interior, and we'll go through the interior, and we're actually going to do a drive on the car as well. The interior didn't come with a 12-button OBC. They came with a clock on here, right? And some of them came with a 6-button clock. So the 90 models came with a 6-button clock on that. Obviously, it reads in miles and kilos. You'll see like small differences with the radio system. The speaker covers. The speaker covers are the, what's this? Alpines. Not Alpines. These are Pioneers. They should be Pioneers all the way. They all different in that the tool tray covers are different. They got a smaller cover, but they don't actually have the tool tray cover itself. They just got the tool tray holder on it. So there's a whole lot of differences, but minor small differences that make a huge difference to the vehicle, right? This vehicle has got 38,000 miles on it. And yes, it's correct, 38,000 miles. It's not 38,000 miles and the clock stopped working. Everything still works in this vehicle. So when I drove the pillarless, and I told you guys that this year was the softest vehicle that I've ever driven, I had to take my words back, because this year is actually soft. This car is superb. It's just another car to drive. So this guy's got a standard exhaust on it. This guy's super quiet. It doesn't even have a tone. So people, when you're driving past people, they don't even notice the vehicle until they see it, and then they go crazy. As to the ISs that we drive now, that still got an exhaust now, they got a tone on it. This is dead quiet. It's bone stock. There's not a cam to it. There's nothing done to it. So yes, the car, we were privileged again to work on this vehicle, and the work that got carried out on here is basically the car's been standing for, not standing for a long time, but she doesn't do much mileage, hence 38,000 miles, which is about 60,000 kilos. Um, so the first things that we had to change was the radiators, right? We had to change over to the big radiator to accommodate for the South African climate. Then we've changed the radiator, we've changed the cowling, the clips on the cowling, the radiator brackets on top, the water pipes on top. And then we had to start tackling a couple of other items because the car's been standing for a while and it is a European car. You guys know corrosion on these cars are, or in the countries actually, they harsh on the vehicles. So silly things like your water pipe outlet on the block that started corroding. We had to sort that out. A minor leak here and there because the car stands. It doesn't. It's not a high mileage vehicle. So that's what this vehicle has come into us for, guys. We're gonna take a drive on this vehicle, right? And I'd like you to try and experience. Again, I'm gonna say this: try and experience what we're able to experience on these vehicles. And the only time you're gonna know about them is when you drive them and you're able to sit in them and you're able to sit in different vehicles and you'll be able to give feedback to say, okay, fine, I've sat in a vehicle with 150,000 k's on it. What's the difference on the vehicles? You can actually feel 38,000 miles or 60,000 kilos on it. Again, it's an awesome drive. The seats are just comfy, everything works, and you'll see this guy. It's totally different. I think let's take a forward drive, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So guys, this is how quiet this guy is. 38,000 miles on the clock. She reads in miles and in miles, but I see that the fuel is normally doesn't have a gallons. It normally reads in gallons and not in liters or in the normal tank. I'm surprised by that, but anyway, you'll see the clock is up here instead of the 12 button OBC. The radio is still a Pioneer radio, so I'm not too sure if this is the original radio from the car, but it's still the radio those that you pull out. Um, and then it's got the full Pioneer system in. And I'll actually take a photo of these speaker covers and show you guys how the speaker covers look. So this guy is just absolutely quiet. It's bone stock, quiet, and I hope you guys enjoy this drive. So this is a car that you would actually like to cruise with. Normally an IS, you'd like to jump in an IS and drive the car, and people hear you coming down the road, and it does stroke a person's ego, right? It's human nature. It's how it is. That's the nostalgia behind the vehicle. Especially in South Africa. South Africa's got a large following on these guys here, and it's become a culture in South Africa where even if a person doesn't even know about a E30 or a 325 IS, but they know we call it a box shape, and they know a box shape, and they see a box shape coming a mile away, and it is, people go crazy. So this is it, right? This is how smooth, how soft this guy is, and I am all for a car that we can drive like this here with the windows closed, and you're able to enjoy it. Okay, so we're gonna let this vehicle come past quickly, and it's just soft. I can't emphasize on how soft this vehicle is. Right, and it's got a standard tone, so it's got the big boxes in here, the big exhaust boxes in here. This guy's just absolutely quiet. So it's got the MTEC 2 steering with it as well. I don't know if that's been changed. Okay, so your fuel consumption is in miles per gallon, but your fuel tank capacity gauge is normal. So when the car came to us, we also picked up an issue with the heat gauge. Not that it was overheating, she just got to halfway and that's it. So the viscous fan was on its way out. The clutch was quite loose on it. But what contributed to that a lot was the smaller capacity radiator. So your volume in the radiator was much smaller, as it's basically half. It was basically half the size to your standard radiators that we get in the 325s now. But there's a few differences to this vehicle, right? So if you look at the, even though it's a plastic bumper car, it's a facelift E30. The radiator spec was the smaller spec, but the water pipe system and the water pump shows us that it is that of the facelift of the plastic bumper. Uh, so here's where the few differences in the touches come in. But if you look at the steering rack on the vehicle, the steering rack is still the chrome face steering rack as to the upgraded facelift. So, and remember that that is now running with a 5-volt suspension. So we've just got to check that out as well. I haven't, yeah, it is a 5-volt suspension on this car. So it's very small difference in very small differences in the vehicles, right? But this is when you're going deep into it and you're starting to look deeper into it. And that's the small changes that came with these cars. So if you go to BM, for example, and you need certain parts, and this car will not match what BM knows. So it's not that BM doesn't have the parts, and it's not that BMW doesn't, or the agents don't have the parts. It's purely because they share parts with the previous or with the preface vehicles. The interior here, this is a nice check gray, and you'll see that the door cards have got the black surround and they've got the material on the center, right? But it's just a nice color combo. The car doesn't feel small on the inside, it doesn't look small on the inside. Normally when you have a darker color on the inside, the cars always feel small. This car just feels the part. So there might be some good news to this vehicle, right? It might be for sale next year, and I think we'll know by January or so. It's gonna be for sale, and I will upload it and advise you guys. But I don't think the owner's gonna. He's been too minded for the past while. Sorry, he's been too minded. He's been too minded for the past year. If he wants to sell the vehicle, and when he sees the car standing, then he wants to sell it. When he drives the car, then he changes his mind. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed your drive. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I'm saying to you, this is something different. It looks the same, but it's not the same. Well, the drive is totally different as well. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do what you guys do, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you guys think, and let's hope to get some more of these features soon. Cheers, guys.